Because this was my choice. Sometimes I feel like, what the frick am I doing to myself? Like, is this going to be worth it in the long run for me and my kids?
Bring the kids over, bring their homework, bring their laundry. I've got all the mom stuff. I will make tacos. We'll see if they get along. You can tackle my honey-do list. I need the shower door fixed, some air filters changed, ring camera batteries changed. And then maybe if there's time and there's a spark, you could mow my lawn.
だが断る。
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from this woman right here, who is, of course, crying about her divorce. Now, I don't know the particular situation. We're going to be uncovering it here together, because what better place to share your personal problems, and what better place to cry other than TikTok as a grown adult. But guys, before we jump into today's episode, don't forget to go and subscribe to Locke the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to leave his channel linked in the video description for sending us today's clip to take a look at. And without further ado, guys, let's just jump right in and let's figure out whether or not this woman has made the right choice divorcing her husband. And I haven't watched this. I skimmed like 2 seconds. She also has kids as well. So let's take a listen.
You know, does anybody else who's going through a divorce feel like this emotional toll just takes such a physical toll on your body? Like, I'm so exhausted, I can't sleep, and I'm stressed, and I can't remember things. Like, literally, my brain is just, like, not absorbing information. I can't remember what I did yesterday. I literally just cannot remember anything. I'm forgetting everything, and I'm just never really been like that.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're talking about things, you know, I'm upset, things are so difficult for me, I can't remember anything, which we don't know the particulars of this woman's situation as of yet. But notice how it's all, every time we open up these videos, guys, whether it be about divorce or the relationship ending, you never actually hear what really happened until after we've established how difficult it is for me. Which, by the way, statistically speaking, the men are the ones that get screwed over in these situations, okay? Women are the ones initiating the divorces. They are the ones, statistically, separating the families, okay? Now, not all women do this, and sometimes, you know, we got widows out here, etc., things like that. But the statistics are that the women are the ones separating the families. Okay, it is a very high percentage. I think it's like something like 80% divorce rate, 90% for college educated women these days, or something ridiculous like that. And when I say that, I mean the odds that the woman is the one ending the relationship. But of course, we're 30 seconds in and we've heard nothing about what exactly transpired other than I'm sad and I can't remember things. And keep in mind, guys, this is a publicly available video on TikTok. Okay, so this is not some personal video. This is a grown woman saying this.
My temper and my patience is so short. I've also never been like that. I've always been a pretty patient person. I've never felt so angry in my life, and I've never understood what a toll being an angry person can take on you. And you know, when you're going through this whole thing, it feels like it's your whole body. And I'm physically just exhausted. And like, part of you wants to just rush through it and get it over with and move on because of how you feel physically and emotionally and mentally and everything. And because you just want to get your life back, you want to feel like a normal human being again.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
While you're enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe to me and our fellow Fiend Gang members. You can find their channels linked in the video description. If you like my videos, make sure you go check out Warg the Detective, Hidan the Mummy, and Locke the Bounty Hunter, and subscribe to their channels in the description down below. Now back to the video. Okay, so now we are almost a full 90 seconds into this video, and we don't know why the divorce is happening. It's still about me, how upset I am. Now, for all we know, hey, maybe the dude did something absolutely terrible, okay? Whatever, but, you know, maybe he did do that. But we're 90 seconds in. I think if the dude did something terrible, we probably would have heard about it by now. That's usually the way these stories go. If the man does something terrible, we hear about it very quickly. You know, like, oh, he cheated, or he did this, or he did that. But typically when you get these videos where we're like 90 seconds in, and it's all just crying about how bad we feel, I start to get a little bit skeptical about these situations, okay? Especially, you know, the sad part about this, okay, is that the father's going to be the one that loses the kids, by the way, in this situation. Right? Statistically speaking, this is what happens when the marriage breaks down and we start to get divorces and things like this. Men lose everything. Men lose their finances, okay, they lose their assets, whatever the case may be. And in the whole process, which is, you know, a lot more painful in my opinion, losing the kids as well. I think she goes on to say how she, you know, she's going to take the kids or whatever, but she wants to set up her life again. She wants to have her life again. Let's continue.
And then part of you is just sitting there holding out hope that maybe something would change, and it doesn't. I don't know. I feel like when you're in the process of the divorce, your whole life is just in this weird limbo. Like, you just, like, you're not married, but you're not really divorced yet. You're still living together, and you're just in this weird, unbalanced life. And everything just feels so up in the air, so uncertain. And, you know, I've been through a lot in my life. I really have. A lot. And I think the hardest part for me is that a lot of the things that have happened in my life, I've had no control over.
Okay, guys, this is an absolutely huge red flag here. There were two very, very enormous red flags when she was speaking here. Number one, she spoke about how nothing would change over time, right? He wasn't changing. And my question to this is always the same. Why would you marry a man? Why would you date a man? Why would you have kids with a man who you wanted to change him? This is the thing that I never understand about these situations, guys, is these women will get into marriages, they'll open their legs, they'll have kids with dudes who they want to change. You see what I'm saying? Like, why? And the amazing part is, oftentimes when the man does change, she'll get bored and up and leave him anyway. Okay, but why are we trying to marry dudes? Why are we trying to have children with dudes? And all this crap. And our logic is, well, I'm getting a divorce with him because I was hoping that things would change. It's like, you know, the person you marry is the person you marry. You understand what I'm saying? You don't marry someone in the hopes that they'll change. That's just ridiculous. That's number one. Number two here, this victimhood spiel. Okay, I'm going to play this back because this is a huge red flag right here. Let's take a listen.
Everything just feels so up in the air, so uncertain. And, you know, I've been through a lot in my life. I really have. A lot. And I think the hardest part for me is that a lot of the things that have happened in my life, I've had no control over.
Yeah, see that right there, okay? And notice the more we're going on, guys, into this video, we're 2 minutes and 17 seconds in, and the waterworks, the crying is still continuing. I don't really believe people who cry on camera. I really don't. To me, this just says, well, I'm looking for attention. And hey, you know, maybe this woman has been through the most tragic thing of all time, okay? I still don't understand why you would cry about it and post it on TikTok, okay? Because the reality is, if you're doing this, you're doing it for attention. And I don't believe tears. Like, when people put a camera, guys, you've got to understand, this woman has decided to sit down in her car, put a camera in front of her face, and then talk about her divorce process, crying, and what are we, like, well over 2 minutes into this video now. We're 2 minutes and 17 seconds into the video. And I simply don't buy the waterworks. But she's basically saying, look at this. A lot of the things that have happened in my life, I have had no control over. This is a giant red flag in men, in women. I don't care. This reminds me of those people who are like, well, you know, I'm overweight and I'm unhealthy because of my genetics. And then meanwhile, they're just eating a whole bunch of crap and they smoke cigarettes. You know, like people always have a lot larger of degree of control over their life than they think they do oftentimes. Particularly these women who think that they're the victim of absolutely everything.
Everything just feels so up in the air, so uncertain. And, you know, I've been through a lot in my life. I really have. A lot. And I think the hardest part for me is that a lot of the things that have happened in my life, I've had no control over. They weren't my choices. They were just sort of things that happened around me or to me or whatever.
Yeah, guys, you know, my life situation, my life predicaments, a lot of the things that have happened in my life, they were all just circumstance. They were all just luck, you know. I never have any agency in these things. This is how you wind up with people who are essentially just not trustworthy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just completely not trustworthy. People who say that they're always, you know, that they're consistently the victim of their circumstance are really dangerous people to associate with, in my opinion. You know, because it's never their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. There's no personal accountability whatsoever. There is no ability to adjust your own behaviors because, hey, we've done nothing wrong. It's just other people. You know what I'm saying? And also, I want to wind this back as well in a lot of these situations. So this woman's talking about the fact that she still has to live with her husband, like the dude that she's divorcing. They still have to live together. I'm just as soon as I hear that sentence, I always question in my head, well, I wonder who paid for the house. I wonder who's paying the mortgage, who's paying the rent, whatever, or who's bought the house, whatever. That's question number one. Question number two, who's all that crap going to go to after the fact? Okay, this is the scary crap about marriage. This is what happens when you sign a contract, and I can't tell from this video, but I hope that this man doesn't lose everything.
Just sort of things that happened around me or to me or whatever. And because this was my choice, sometimes I feel like, what the frick am I doing to myself? Like, is this going to be worth it in the long run for me and my kids?
Really telling how it's my kids, by the way. Again, this tells me that we're making a play to take the kids, right?
Around me or to me or whatever. And because this was my choice, sometimes I feel like, what the frick am I doing to myself? Like, is this going to be worth it in the long run for me and my kids? You know, I hope it is. I hope it's the right choice. But I've never, like, put myself in a position to be this physically and emotionally stressed. And I feel like, even though this still was my choice, I feel like I still just have no control.
Right, so we've initiated the divorce, but we are also most affected, and we feel like we have no control, and you're concerned about your kids. Okay, now again, I don't know this guy. Maybe he's the most awful man on earth, but, you know, typically in these situations, the man is not the villain that these women make them out to be. And yes, the kids are going to be worse off because now they're going to have either split custody or whatever the case may be with the father. You know? Like, hey, maybe he gets 2 days every 2 weeks or some crap. We don't know. Okay, but it's not looking particularly good for this man, might I say. There's a very real reality where this guy just straight up loses his kids, or he gets a fraction of the custody, and the mother turns them against him because he's a guy that just wouldn't change, is the words that she has chosen to use in this video.
And if you're a person that suffers from anxiety at all, not having control over the things in your life or the things around you just makes things 10 times more overwhelming. And I thought I would feel more in control in this situation, and I don't. And I'm to the point where it's just like, I just need to move forward. And the process just takes so long. Like, the legal part of it, the physical part of it, like moving and doing all those things, and, you know, the anticipation of telling her kids, like, our kids still don't know. So, like, all of it just still feels like this huge weight. And I don't know if at the end of it it's gonna feel like the weight is lifted.
Man, these videos really disgust me. So again, I really want to highlight this. Okay, we are like 3 minutes 30 seconds into a TikTok video. We're still crying about how hard it is for us. Okay, the kids are going to be. I really feel for the kids in this situation, man. I don't care so much about this woman and her crying and her anxiety and all this bull crap. I mean, you're the one that chose to initiate the divorce. Okay, deal with it. Like, again, so we've decided to go through this process. Let me just highlight this, okay? We've decided to go through this process, and yet we're making a 4+ minute video on TikTok about how we're the victim and it's so hard, despite the fact that you made the choice, and we still haven't heard why the divorce is even occurring. Which, by the way, again, in a lot of these videos, if the man did something wrong, we typically hear about it. Like, oh, he cheated, or he did this or that. So, like, my alarm bells are just going off all throughout this entire video. Still don't believe the tears. But, you know, man, I really feel for the kids. It's going to be rough for the kids more than anything. It's just a very sad situation. Like, the fact that this can just be done at a whim, by the way. We literally have no-fault divorce now, so if a woman feels like it through irreconcilable differences, hey, she can just file for divorce and there goes your house, there goes your kids, there goes your assets. Hey, continue paying a lot of money, you know, and we just throw men under the bus in these types of situations. No need to elaborate, no need to say why. Let's just throw men under the bus.
Not like I'm winning something. It's not like there was a successful end to this, because there is no successful end in divorce, but I don't know. You know, I hear a lot of people say that once it's all over, you will feel relieved, you will feel better, and you can kind of start over, but where's the light at the end of that tunnel? I don't know.
Yeah, see, the people saying this to you are probably your single, clueless friends who are single for a reason. Okay, this is what happens as well when these relationships, you know, these marriages, they get into like these longer territories. Hell, even all sorts of durations of relationships, actually. But women will have their single friends get in their ear and say, oh, you know, he's a bad person, you deserve better, you know, you could probably leave him and take the house. I heard Becky did that to her husband, and look at her, she's having a great fun time. And then you look at Becky and she's like an alcoholic on 3 different prescription medications with a house full of cats. But never mind that, she's having a great time. You know what I'm being a little bit exaggeratory, but not really. A lot of these women, they have single friends who convince them that the man's a monster and that she deserves better. And the funniest part about these videos, guys, right, is that when these women go back into the dating market, they get screwed, man. No man with any self-respect wants to come out here and date, seriously, a single mother who is divorced. That is just an absolute train wreck waiting to happen. So let's continue into this next video here. Guys, let me know what you think, okay? I don't buy the waterworks. I don't buy the fact that it was just the man's fault, okay? This video has set so many red alarm bells off at me just from watching it. But what was that? That was a 4-minute and 12-second video crying about how divorce is so hard for her, despite the fact that she's the one that initiated it. And we don't even hear why she initiated it, other than he wouldn't change. Let's continue to the next clip here, and this is another divorced woman, so let's take a listen.
Single dads that are tired of the dating apps, I have a new date proposal. Tomorrow's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Bring the kids over, bring their homework, bring their laundry. I've got all the mom stuff. I will make tacos. We'll see if they get along. You can tackle my honey-do list. I need the shower door fixed, some air filters changed, ring camera batteries changed.
You serious?
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode. Why are we, what are we, 10 seconds into this video? I don't know, 15, 10 seconds, whatever, into this video. 15, I don't know, I wasn't really listening. We are a fraction into this video, and the first thing that this woman is bringing up is the household chores that the man can do for her. Doesn't that just make you feel appreciated, guys? Like, really, like, you know, you would think that there would be some kind of tact to this, okay? If you want men to date you, if you want men to take you seriously. And the argument here is, well, I'm a single mother, so single dads should want me. Hell no, is the answer to that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we're a few seconds into this video, and straight away it's about what the man can do for me. If you're looking for a man to, you know, to have a relationship with, or you want men to date you, it's probably not the best idea to begin your video by saying how the men should support your life. I thought you were strong and independent. I thought these women had it all handled, but apparently not.
And then maybe if there's time and there's a spark, you could mow my lawn. Let me know.
Disgusting, man.
And me
Hell
for
no.
pointing out that I'm still single because
Someone commented, that's why you're still single. I agree with this individual here. Let's take a listen.
thank Fred Main for pointing out that I'm still single because I make TikToks about trading Taco Tuesday for honey-do list chores for single dads. Nope. I think when it boils down to it, I'm still single because I have a really warped sense of humor from working in professional sports. I fall asleep to Sports Center every night. And when it boils down to it, I'm just a bitch. That's why I'm still single. Thank you. Have a great day.
I mean, hey, maybe we got a bit of honesty right there at the end, but predominantly it comes from that last comment there, I would assume, but also the fact that you're a single mother. And I didn't catch on to that, okay? So she was saying that she would make the tacos and the man would do their household work, you know, mow the lawn, do all this crap. Number one, making tacos is significantly easier than doing all the housework she listed. Okay, I don't know why any dude would voluntarily sign up for this. Number two, this individual who left this comment is completely and utterly correct. I don't know why this woman is talking about football and leaving and watching shows or whatever the crap. It has nothing to do with it. You are a single mother, and that is why you're in the predicament that you're in. So guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. And hey, before I actually close this video, by the way, I forgot to mention, I'm pretty sure this woman is also divorced as well, because these are videos where we're talking about divorce. So I think that this woman is also a divorced single mother. So maybe that has something to do with it as well. But we're going to be leaving it there. Guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.